It's no secret that sound can drastically enhance the viewing experience, but with so many tutorials about this topic already out there, I wanted to focus on some of the areas that are not spoken about much, like the creative approach and how to bring life to your edits with sound. In this video, I'm going to share some powerful techniques you can use that will instantly elevate the feeling in your videos. We'll take a look at a variety of examples, starting with this car commercial I recently did. In the intro, the anticipation is built by the contrast between the sound in the garage and the sound outside in nature. Turn off the music and it's even more prominent. So the contrast between the louder sound outside and the low-level bassy hum helps to build up the emotion until the song drops. In this scene, I clearly made the audio louder until the moment it drops, and that adds to the effect. Leading up to the drop, we have this loud sound of the car where it feels like you're looking out the window, but jumping back to the garage just keeps building the momentum. I use this method of contrast in a variety of ways, but the principle stays the same. If you cut between sounds, you enhance the feeling of the sound when it comes back. In my latest short film Dystopia, Rael and Joey did the same in the edit, and there are two scenes where it's really prominent. The first where the music builds up to a climax and all of a sudden the sound cuts out and you only hear the gun. The second is in the scene where the protagonist realizes he's been chased by a copy of himself and shooting this person is the only way out. For a brief moment, all sound and music goes quiet, adding more effect to the moment the gun is fired. After the gun is fired, the music also comes back, and immediately you feel something. This principle is so powerful that I'm always looking for an opportunity to do a transition from loud to soft or soft to loud. A great way to cut from loud to soft is to make use of risers. A riser gradually builds up with a steep drop off in the end. So let's look at a couple of examples where I use this. In my short film Perseverance, it's used to cut to a memory flashback. Risers are also a great way to end your video with a bang.
Have escaped the lab and have taken over the city. Please evacuate immediately to the designated safe zones in the outskirts.
As you can see, music plays a massive role in working together with the audio to amplify this effect, which brings me to the sponsor of this video, MusicBed. In filmmaking, we often use frames from movies and series as reference to inspire the look and feel of our shots. What if you could do the same with music, but instead of blindly searching through libraries, you simply ask AI to do it? MusicBed recently dropped a game-changing search feature, and it's already revolutionized the way I look for music. Finding relevant tracks is not only faster, but also much more accurate. Instead of searching for something that sounds right, simply give it a reference track of something you know sounds right, and lo and behold, it will give you a list of alternative songs that have a similar vibe, genre, bass, and feeling. By this I mean any track that exists out there, including all your popular artists. I'm obsessed with the movie Dune, so I wanted to see if I can find some music that will match the vibe, and the results are nothing short of mind-blowing. Selecting the very first song felt like something straight from Arrakis, yet it's 100% authentic with all of the emotion. Now it also indicates which part of the song is most relevant in your search, so you can immediately skip ahead and decide if it's the right one for you or not. I've said this before and I'll say it again. MusicBed's quality is unmatched, and now you can see the difference for yourself with their free 14-day trial. Sign up with the link in the description and switch to music bed today. A crash sequence is an amazing way to start an edit or transition between scenes. I often use these sequences to intro my films because it has the power to immediately grab the viewer's attention. The sound part, however, is where most creators struggle, and I found an easy way to get the creative juices flowing is to use time-lapse sounds. The web is full of these, but essentially they're like a foundation for me to build my sequence on. I simply pick a sound that fits the vibe in my visuals, and then I start editing. Because the sounds are naturally connected, they immediately help with the transition between clips, so it's just about finding the right cut point. If there's a part I don't like, I simply bring the volume down and look for an alternative sound, but having a bass to start with really helps. This also leads me to the use of the J-cut. This is when the audio comes in before you actually see what's going on. The best way to bring a scene to life is to layer a variety of sounds on top of each other. The four main characters here are Foley, Ambience, SFX and Music. Foley is your real sounds, the sound your mind expects to hear coming from interactions in your scene. Ambience is the sound you would expect from the environment or the background. Special effects are those sounds that are not natural but amplifies emotion or impact, like risers and your whooshes and swooshes. Add the right music and your edit comes to life. For now, I want to focus on Foley because it's arguably the most difficult part of sound design. I have 4 rules I follow when it comes to Foley. Number 1. Does it sound believable even when the music is turned off? If it does, you're almost guaranteed it's going to work once you layer it with music. Although music can disguise certain sounds, it's always safer to go for realism without it. Rule number 2. Subtle is always better. When your Foley is too loud or obvious, it will distract the viewer and you won't have an immersive experience. Try to keep the levels as low as possible without losing it behind the music or ambience. Rule number 3. No need to be literal. You don't have to use the sound of a specific object to make it sound like that object. Sometimes using literal sounds don't actually work, and using sounds from different objects or interactions end up being more believable in your scene. So be open to experimenting with different sounds. I often make use of an on-location sound recordist, and the actual sound they capture doesn't always give me the desired effect. So then I still have to resort to Foley packs. Rule number 4. Modify and manipulate. If a sound does not give you the desired effect, try to modify and manipulate it. All video editors have these tools built in, and it's a great way to get more real estate out of your sound. Let's look at some examples. In this case, the car sounds like it's coming from a distance, and the sound is creating an echo in the valley. But the original clip actually sounds like this. A low-pass filter can make something sound like it's underwater or underground. And a high-pass filter can make it sound like a phone call or a voice note.
Morning, my bro. I've got some news for you. So sorry, it's not what you wanted to hear. Unfortunately, they've declined and it's a hard no.
In the ending scene of Dystopia, we used a combination of reverb and high-pass filter to create the speaker effect of speakers broadcasting over the city.
Attention, attention all citizens.
This is an emergency evacuation call.
The DNA agents have escaped the lab and have taken over the city.
Another way to create more realism with your sound is to pan the left and right channel according to the movements in the frame. A car driving from left to right. A bicycle zipping past from right to left. This effect is an absolute must on any sounds where the subject moves over a significant area of the frame. When keyframing the sound, you want to keep the ratio at 80:20 so that you don't completely lose the sound in the opposite channel. You can also speed up or slow down sounds to get more options out of it. In this case, I used the sound of cracked ice, sped it up to 200%, added a low pass filter, and now it sounds like it's coming straight out of the glacier. Take it a step further and adjusting the pitch will also give you a different sound. There are so many ways to use these tools, so in the end it comes down to messing around with it until you find something you like. As always, comments, drop them down below and I'll do my best to answer. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.